What's up? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I'm Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me I have some more RPG horror stories. I gotta get a better book. Just in general, better look. I need an update. That's what I need. I need to do some more model work and get Morrow looking nice and pretty. Still same kind of appearance, is just more high definition, less blocky thingies and stuff like that. I'm gonna go ahead and get to the first RPG horror story for today while I think of how to update myself further. Paid DM in quite a pickle. Hello everyone, I semi-professionally DM TTRPGs at home. No mandatory payment, but I encourage volunteer donations for club development. This is relevant to my stance on this whole situation, since I don't want to lose people who regularly make donations. Bear that in mind. Also, sorry for grammar, English is not my first language. So there is that one group I play with weekly for 6 months. 4 reasonable guys, all of them in their late 20s to 30s. We play D&D 5e. All players new to the hobby, never had prior experience. I prefer pre-written campaigns since it helps me reduce prep time. Those guys that play Tyranny of Dragons. Good adventure, somewhat railroady, but I try to provide a lot of tactical freedom. Everyone is satisfied with that. The campaign is about chosen heroes that save the world. Heroic fantasy, good times. The problem is the players never want to act heroically, or even morally, that is to say. No matter what characters they play, those guys are always on to committing worst behavior you can imagine. Torture, struggle snuggle, mutilation, thievery, fraud, racketeering, armed robbery, purposeful destruction of property, everything I could imagine, and even more. That's what these guys are always trying to do. Good lord. Wait, is this related to the other story with the blood orgies the other day? Like 2 videos ago or something like that? Oh my god. This just makes me think of the blood orgy story. Oh my god, are these the same people? Are these the same people? Now you see, I impose social contract in my games. I've made myself clear on heroic genre of that campaign at session 0 and had talks with the group on their concerned behavior several times throughout the course of aforementioned 6 months. They do agree, they go overboard sometimes, but they also always revert to very same antics. Their justification is 1. Since it is I who impose moral restrictions, then it is my job to enforce them. It's okay that I don't allow struggle snuggle, but they'll keep trying it until I eventually back down. Reason you ask? Because it is fun for them. If your players are constantly playing the what's DM's boundary today, how far can I push it along today, then that doesn't seem really that fun. There's no point of trying to push someone's boundary to see if they'll allow it today. Just stop. Don't do that. The DM already said they're not cool with that sort of thing, so just quit it, drop it. I don't get these sort of players. They just want to push the boundaries, test the waters, and keep pushing and prodding and pushing and prodding and pushing and prodding. What? Until the DM quits? Until the DM just doesn't want to deal with you anymore? Until the DM just says, alright, well I had it, goodbye, never talk to you again. They do not agree with me that heroic morality is required for heroic story. They believe that I am able to progress the story regardless of whatever they are heroic or not. While technically true, I pretty much don't like that reasoning. If everybody agreed the game is heroic, then the game is heroic. If they want to have a different kind of game and DM is fine with it, they can do that. Maybe an evil campaign or whatever they want to do, a pillaging campaign, get that out of the system. I don't know. But if everyone is cool originally with the initial idea of it, a heroic campaign, heroic things are expected of players, especially the DM says that I just want to run a heroic thing. I just want to run, like, it just seems like there's a clash between what the DM wants and the players want. The players clearly just want an open sandbox where they can do whatever they want. The DM wants to play a heroic campaign. Clearly there's a divide. And if you're not seeing eye to eye, just split. Don't play with these people. Clearly you guys want different things. Realistic in-game consequences did not help. Players just roll with everything from loss of reputation and overall distrust to straight up character death. Absolutely no remorse. Also do not encourage that kind of behavior with any in-game rewards. Tortured enemies do not yield more information than when simply asked. Crime does not provide more riches than killing dragons, etc. I don't want to disband this group since all of them donate regularly. This crap is also starting to take toll on my mental health. I keep stopping those murder hobos, but something slips every now and then. I can't help but feel bad. How in the name of tier do I adapt to this nonsense? If it's taking toll on your mental health and you're not having fun, regardless of the donations, just tell them you're done. I get it. Yeah, it's the semi-professional DM stuff, they're paying money and stuff, they have donated before and everything, but it's not worth getting donations if you just gotta be genuinely having a horrible time through this. Drop them. Quit. You don't have to do this. You can find a different group out there. No D&D is better than bad D&D, and time spent looking for a better experience is better than being stuck in an experience that you absolutely hate and despise. Drop these guys like wet laundry and just go start another group with brand new people that aren't these guys, that actually want to have a heroic campaign or something, or whatever it is. People that want to have the same thing that you want to have. Find like-minded players that want to have the same kind of experience and are geared for the same kind of game. Edit. I thank everyone who found time to give their feedback to my story, even though some of you think I'm an a-hole. After some consideration, I concluded that setting switch is too late because I already compromised myself as bad behavior enabler before the problem guys. I guess this time social contract enforcement means not only prevention of filthy play, but also removal of players who disregard established rules. I will not hesitate to kick one problem player out of the group, but I've already invested in campaign fully consistent of those dudes. Turns out there can be bad investment that must be sunk to preserve the whole enterprise. As for players, maybe that will be a lesson to them. I really hope. The biggest problem that I see here though, regardless of who's been an a-hole or not, is that conflict of what you want. The players clearly want one type of game. You want another type of game. No matter social contract or trying to convince them to go with your type of game is going to convince them to switch over and drop their act and antics. Clearly, they want this one type of game so badly they don't care about what you want. And you want this other type of game that no matter how many restrictions or moral choices or any sort of punishments you give to these players, it's never going to convince them. It's a difference in interest. Find people that want to play the same game that you want to play. On the topic of a-hole or not, I guess if you were to put this post in like the AITA, am I the a-hole kind of post, I think everybody sucks, but for wrong reasons. You guys just stuck around for way too long, and you guys need to separate, basically. They need to do their own thing with a DM that is cool with their murder hobo ways, and you need to find yourself a new group. Simple as that. AITA for this whole mess. Howdy. Before I get into the story, I want to say that yes, I was an a-hole in this situation. I learned from it and even tried to fix things after it had happened. Just want to know if I was the complete a-hole. Without further ado, here's what happened. Wait, what? You're already spoiling the story? Like, I get it, like, you probably had a self-reflection moment and stuff, but you already spoiled the story. I didn't have the chance to say who was the a-hole in the story if you do it like that. I'm a 26 female who got into D&D since I was 18, and I've been looking for a game to play. My free company leader in Final Fantasy 14, yeah, Final Fantasy, said he'd be willing to run a game. So a few of us got together to play after recruiting and made some characters. We have a Tabaxi druid, a Tabaxi sorcerer, a turtle barbarian who I absolutely loved, a tiefling warlock, a half-elf cleric, later turned rogue, and a human fighter who I had a problem with. We had a session 0 and things looked pretty neat. Got a job to light 4 lighthouses and that was it. Skipping the unimportant stuff to the story, make it to the first lighthouse. It is surrounded by a lot of bandits. At this time, my cleric became a rogue after burning a church down by accident, so he agreed to send me in to scout the place. I wound up finding a tent with the leaders in it, and suddenly my character hears a loud crash. The others knocked over a guard tower, which sent everyone into high alert. Thinking of the safest thing to do, I reveal myself to the leader, and I'm promptly interrogated. To be expected, I built my rogue to be a silver-tongued sneaky type, and made a deal to let us into the lighthouse with them, getting all the treasure inside. I walk up to the other members with an arrow pointed in my back when the fighter pulls a gun on me, calling me a traitor and a sellout. This caused all the players to not trust me at all, even with me trying to explain that everyone here was on high alert now. I had to make a quick decision with my life on the line to get us in without them following. Still nothing. I do have to add my character was not the nicest person, but I wanted to try to be a rude character since all my others are cheery and upbeat. Make whatever character you want as long as you follow the #1 rule. Cooperate with the party, work with the party, be friendly to the party. Well, I guess that's like 3 rules. It's all kind of mixed up together, right? Work, cooperate, and play well with your party. Make whatever character you want, an edgelord. Did my Russian just come out? Whatever character you want. Make whatever character you want, an edgelord, a cringe lord, whatever you want. My Russian accent just came out super bad there. Anyway, make whatever character you want as long as they cooperate with the party. Let's continue. We get into the lighthouse and the fighter player and character does not talk to me. I think, Okay, I can make a good character development and a rivalry down the line. It did not happen because after we solved puzzle and lit the lighthouse, he retired the character and made a half-orc paladin who worked for the people. I loved this character, he was really neat. I, however, had to be a bit sneakier with my theory as she did not like me stealing from the lower class. Fair, don't take from the poor. Now, the problem with the player lies with them derailment on topics that do not pertain to the campaign at the time. This is really relevant. The other problem was that I like to use really big words a lot, and I'm not too bright, so I have to constantly look up words what they're saying. I politely asked if they could just use simpler terms, and they said they would try. Around this time, I retired my rogue for a fallen Aasimar warlock. Our tiefling had to drop due to the time commitment. We get passage on a ship to head to the next lighthouse, and on the way, we're about to get into a fight with another ship. I say I'm gonna go below deck since others are staying above deck. We're all going to be shooting cannons. This is when Paladin stops and starts to explain why that's a bad idea. Using modern naval tactics and torpedoes as a reason on why I shouldn't. Another rant, but one that was needed and where I make my mistake. I won't lie, I tuned you out the minute you mentioned torpedoes. I'm assuming it was said like in character, maybe? I hope it's said in character, right? Because character speech is different than player speech. And as somebody who plays a character that is kind of difficult to get along with and stuff, and difficult to trust people really easily, it's very important to establish the boundaries of what Morrow says is what Morrow says in character, because that's what his character would say. Morrow is really bad with people, so that's what Morrow would say in character, but it's different than what I would say, because those are two different people. Morrow is Morrow, I am me. I guess since you pointed out that this was the problem, this was the crux where everything kind of went bad, maybe this was an unintended thing to say, or maybe you could have said it nicely, I don't know. Let's see how this plays out. This caused the Paladin to disconnect after a few seconds. I knew what I said was wrong almost immediately. The session ended there, and I took the time to send a short apology to them. Hey, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have dismissed you like that. I apologize. After a few days, I asked if you could talk and sort things out as we have conflicting mindsets. As I'm writing this, I had to check what was said, and what I had mentioned previously about the rants were history rants, which became an information overboard. I'll post what I said, but names will be changed. Yeah, what I said was a mistake. Very much so. I only said it because 1, it's an information overload for both me and the druid every time you drop history bombs on us, and wound up frustrating me in the past Saturday because I've been working in heat all day. I was already on edge because of work, it just boiled over. 2, going on tangents or related IRL history and long rants that you do kinda ruins my experience. I didn't take a level monk to use clubs as rogue for knocking people out, because you said that would ruin your experience. Druid doesn't like it when it comes to her experience, but not as much. Now with this being said, I don't want you to stop doing it. I know you get happy and excited to share this information. So I want to find a middle area for both me and you that we can continue to enjoy the game and continue to be friends. But if you don't want to be friends after this, that's fine. We'll just be acquaintances that play a game we both enjoy. I respect what you enjoy, and going forward, if it gets too much at times, I'll just shoot a DM and just be like, hey, this is a bit much, can we tone it down? And if we do something that upsets you, don't just leave. Call me out on it. I'm an adult, I can handle it. Whatever you say to me could not possibly upset me or ruin my day. It may make me mad, but it won't upset or ruin my day. Word for word, ripped from Discord. Ava was my rogue's name. Druid is my wife, and she didn't want to confront herself, so she asked me to do it when we talked. Never got a response back, and I'm still ghosted to this day. The game was cancelled, and honestly, it sucks that I set that into motion. Now the beginning of the story makes sense, where you said you were an a-hole. I get it, like frustrations can happen and stuff, and some group incohesion can happen, and people can get on each other's nerves over like little things and stuff, and I get it. But at least you did the right thing to try to talk to the player, explain exactly what made the frustration, and try to find a solution. At the end of the day, not only did you just explain everything that you were going through and why it made you frustrated and why you react in such a way, you said, hey, I want to find a solution, whether it be as friends or not as friends. I respect you and I want to try to find a way that we can go and continue this together, instead of just being like, yo, boo-hoo, you suck, you bad, blah, 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 blah. If this point of tension bursted out now, that just means it probably would have became a problem also later down the line, and probably would have brought up even more tension at that point, right? Because tension boils up at some point, and then when it boils to a point that it explodes and it can't be contained, then all hell breaks loose and people really start drama and stuff. You want to solve the problem, and I appreciate that, because not many people want to solve problems. They just think other people have problems and they don't want to find any solution. They're not self-aware or see faults in themselves. And you see a fault in yourself and you describe that. If there's something I can do, let me know. I want us to have a good time. I want us to have fun. I don't want to ruin your experience. And I appreciate that greatly. I've seen this come up a few times, and I will clarify, only the fighter who became the paladin had ghosted me. I think everyone was mad at me for that one decision, but not enough to carry over into future sessions. Well, I mean, I hope Paladin responds. If they don't respond, then, you know, they don't respond. You can't really force a response out of somebody. It is what it is. It happened. Just, I guess in the future, it's a lesson to learn that maybe it's best just to communicate it out of game first before saying something snarky in game. But hey, I'm wishing you the best and hope things get resolved. And if they don't, well, now there's a lesson to learn. Reflecting on things that happened in the past is a way that we grow. So you could just find a way to grow from this. And with that, that's going to be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales Tomorrow. Bye-bye.